Welcome to another episode of Times and Tides. So Natesh, you spoke on one crop, tea, that brought independence or was instrumental in getting independence for America. I also have heard you talking in your presentations on indigo's role in Indian independence. Can we move on to that indigo now? Where did it all started?
Indigo is right at the same level as the spices, because people used to come from west for a natural dye. And when they came for spices, they also took back indigo, and it was in very high demand in the west.
You mean the vegetable dye or natural dye was
Vegetable
not known?
dye. It was not known in the west.
So India was the first to have discovered the...
India, in fact, indigo has been mentioned in our literature, Vedic literature.
Okay.
It is known as Nil in Sanskrit.
Acha.
And it is associated with Krishna, for example.
Acha. Color.
And the color blue. Color blue also represents the sky, infinity, vastness, and so on. It is also associated with goddess Kali. And it is also used as an adjective to say Nil Kamal.
Okay.
Blue lotus.
Okay.
So it
Blue
can
sky.
be a noun, it can be an adjective.
Nil Gagan.
It has been known, and technological skills that India knew about how to dye clothes, textiles with this was known. Indians knew not only about the dye, but also about mordants. Mordants are chemicals which are which help the dye to stick to the cloth.
Okay.
They also knew about resists. Resists are substances which will not allow the dye to stick to the cloth.
Okay,
so they knew about mordants and dyes, and Indian skills in indigo, natural dyes, was known world over.
Who took this knowledge to the West first?
So it was part of the spice trade route.
Okay.
The Arabs knew about this.
Can we go one step behind? So we knew about dye. It was extracted from a plant. For the viewers, can you now describe what is this plant?
So this plant is called Indigofera.
Okay.
Tinctoria. Tinctoria means a dye.
Okay.
So the name indigo itself tells you the story. Why the West called it an indigo. It means it is from India.
Acha. Okay.
In Greek. Indicon. Indigo, these are Greek and Latin names.
Okay.
So Indigofera is also telling you about India.
Okay.
And Tinctoria means the dye from
the Indian plant.
And so on. It's a legume.
And so this dye was being extracted, used to color our textile, and the textile was also being transported or whatever.
And the dye itself was sought. Because in the West at that time, the main source of dye was another plant from the Brassicaceae family.
Okay.
It was called woad. And that was no competitor for indigo.
Okay.
Although they wanted to monopolize their trade with woad, in fact, in some of the Western countries, they even banned import of indigo because it would
take away
their
business.
Own wood.
Okay.
So, but they couldn't compete. Ultimately, they had to allow indigo. And many people who bought pepper and other stuff from India also took back indigo. It was probably number 2 in that hierarchy.
Okay.
So it was a very well established thing. It was very well known, and therefore it was sought after by Westerners to get this to Europe.
Okay.
And at some point of time, as I said, some countries banned it, but they had to revoke it, and everybody became interested in this dye. So large-scale cultivation of indigo started in the 16th century.
By whom?
By Indian people in the 16th century. 15th, 16th century, probably in the Mughal period or something like that. And the British established commercial plantations by the 18th century, 1777 or something like that.
Okay.
And most of this production, when the British did it, was purchased by them. And they established colonies, mainly in the Bengal province, and the center of all this cultivation was somewhere near Champaran, which is now in Bihar.
So it is when the British entered into cultivation and getting into this business that the problems perhaps started.
Problems in the sense because they wanted control. At that time, what they did was very interesting. They told the farmers, you stop cultivating food crops and start cultivating indigo. And then they had to buy back, sell it back to the planters. And the worst thing is it became more exploitative because they allowed British planters to own the land and the Indians were only plantation labor which had to work on those plantations.
The land belongs to me, British owner comes and claims the land and I should now become simply a slave for
the British planter.
Natesh, many youngsters of today may not know the importance of this Champaran and indigo in our independence. And so, in other words, it's a kind of a British imposed slavery on the Indian peasants. That is the beginning of this whole story.
It's an oppressive practice, right?
Okay.
Because what happens is when I cannot grow a food crop, which is something that I want to do, it is my survival. You are forcing me not to grow that on my own plantation. Many of the plantations are owned by the British and I had to service their needs by growing 1/3 of the land, I think, or something like that, on indigo. And the prices were not competitive.
They were fixing it.
And they would pay them a pittance. And they were forcing these people. In fact, they were these mafia of the plantation owners who would beat you up for not delivering or not fulfilling the needs of the plantation owners. And this was the practice all over Bengal, Bihar and all that. Now what happened was actually in Bengal, there was this, movement, the peasant movement. And before I come to that,
let me stop you here. I do remember very distinctly, you told me once in our presentation that this imposition of indigo growth or indigo cultivation and some artistic developments or cultural events of Bengal and the peasant revolution were tightly linked. That to me was very interesting.
Which is what I was about to come to.
Okay.
In Bengal, what happened was, you remember the Bengal presidency included Bihar also at that time. So Bengal part of the Bengal presidency, you know what happened? There was a man who actually wrote a play on the plight of these indigo farmers.
Dinabandhu Gupta. Okay.
And he wrote a very powerful play called Nil Darpan.
Okay.
And it was actually a very powerful play in Bengali. It was translated into English.
It was on this exploitation.
Absolutely on the Nil Darpan. Nil means Nil. Indigo. And it was based on the exploitation of the peasants by the British Empire. And there was a Jesuit priest who translated that into English. And it became a big thing even in Britain, where elite English read this play. They were very much affected by what is happening there. And then what it did was, it also helped. This play was so powerful that it strengthened the whole theatre milieu in Bengal. Many theatres got established
because of the success of Nil Darpan,
the
drama teams
and the second thing that happened was, while the peasants were suffering and this play reflected their suffering, the elite Bengalis got into this through the plays. So the peasants and the elite became united in resisting this. And then in the Bengal part of Bengal presidency, the British relented and it was solved. But in the Bihar part, where the Champaran and other places were happening, exploitation continued.
There was no voice there.
There was no voice for the peasant. But things got to such a pass that at some point of time the prices were so low and the labor was so hard and you are not allowed to grow crops for yourself that the peasants actually rose in revolt.
Acha.
And by the time Gandhiji had just come back
Okay.
from his exploitations in South Africa,
Okay.
where he had a major victory, he became part of the Congress.
Okay.
In one of the Congress sessions,
Mm-hmm.
one of the persons met Gandhiji and said, you know, there is a big problem happening in Champaran area. Please come and,
Help us.
study this. You seem to be very interested. You are a capable man. Please come and help us. Gandhiji heard this, but immediately he could not go. For various reasons, he was just come back and so on and so forth. So they were actually, serfs. The peasants were reduced to serfs
Yeah.
of the planters. So this man was called Rajkumar Shukla, an indigo cultivator. He appealed to Gandhi, and finally Gandhiji, after having thought about this, he decided to visit Champaran on 10th April 1917.
Okay.
And he arrived to make a detailed study of this problem.
Okay.
And when he heard, when he arrived there was already, this Shukla had made such a lot of publicity.
Okay.
Lots of people came to receive him at the Champaran station. And the British got alarmed. So many people are, they told Gandhiji, you cannot
back.
set foot, please go back.
Go back. Okay. I remember this scene in movie Gandhi. Yeah.
Gandhiji said, no, it is, I refuse to go back.
It's my land.
It's my country.
Yeah.
I want to study this problem. I'm not causing any problem to the British. I want to listen to these farmers. And the British were very scared at that time. Should they arrest Gandhiji? Should they not arrest him?
Okay.
Finally, he was arrested
Okay.
and sent to jail.
Okay.
And thousands of people thronged the jail premises,
Acha.
demanding his release.
Okay.
And the government actually had no recourse left but to release him with a warning and say, please don't cause any
Trouble.
public,
But he refused. He stayed there.
No, he stayed there and they relented. They had to release him. So, villagers, he started then, this is where, this was his first civil disobedience movement or a public movement in
Protest
India.
against the system.
I have seen his record keeping in Champaran. All these records are available. His diaries are available.
In Champaran.
In Champaran.
I see.
And then Babu Rajendra Prasad was part of that. Many others came, joined him. And he said, please, let's study not only limit this to indigo, but study the whole milieu of this Champaran area. The villagers were so poor and dirty, gutters flowing everywhere, men drinking, women working. This story is so familiar to us. And unhygienic, alcoholism, untouchability, parda, very rampant. Gandhiji had a glimpse into the naked poverty in which Indian peasants lived. This was his first introduction to this sort of thing in this country. He made a systematic study, and the lawyer in him, the kind of record keeping, meticulous, is you can't be left unimpressed by that. It is so beautiful. And where the district officials told him again to leave, and he refused. And there he started an ashram first time. And he started teaching about untouchability, about treating women better, why men should not drink, established schools. Kasturba joined him. They started some schools.
How did all this help him solving this problem?
Because he said people should become empowered. And unless you stop doing all this, mere learning about indigo is not going to help them.
I agree. But
so finally, when he submitted all this, this impressive record of how the planters were systematically exploiting these people.
Peasants.
And one of the story goes, one of the planters said in some club, I want to go and kill this Gandhi. So it seems
white guy, or?
white guy, planter,
Okay.
white guy planter. So it seems Gandhiji came to know about it. So at 4 o'clock one day, he got up and went by himself without informing anyone to this fellow's house. Then knocked on his door at 4 o'clock. This fellow is groggy with sleep. He opens the door and this man whom he was been wanting to kill is standing in front of him. I don't remember the planter's name. It's somewhere in my records. So Gandhiji told him, so Mr. So-and-so, you wanted to kill me, it seems, I heard.
Please go ahead.
I'm here and I'm alone. If you want to kill me, this is your time. Go ahead. So the planter was so aghast. And,
Okay.
he said, no, I didn't mean, etc., etc.
Okay.
So
They say bully is the one who is most covered.
So finally, with all this record keeping, he became such a thorn in the British flesh
Okay.
that the British government of the time was forced to appoint a committee to study
Okay.
the Indigo problem.
Acha.
And Gandhiji was put as a member of
Member
the
of
committee.
that. Acha.
And then he prevailed upon them to remove this system
Of
of
slavery.
oppression.
Okay.
And this was the first ever success
Okay.
in the independence movement, or the Champaran movement,
Okay.
where Gandhiji started this civil movement.
Disobedience. Yeah. Fantastic. I mean, it's very interesting, and frankly, I'll tell you, many youngsters do not know about the beginning of the seed of fight for independence through disobedience process that Mahatma Gandhi started. We see the movie, we forget, and the fact that all this happened because of this indigo plant is something that I think is very interesting.
So indigo is at the heart of that, and actually it is at this Champaran that people started referring to him as Mahatma.
Acha. Okay. So this is where he became Mahatma. So indigo is linked to him being labeled also as Mahatma. So the indigo doesn't only mark the permanent mark on our finger in the elections. It has given this permanent seal to Mahatma.
It is a plant
Okay.
which changed the course of our freedom struggle
Acha.
from one of subjugation. It was it sparked a
The spirit of
movement
freedom. Yeah. Fight.
for the fight for total independence elsewhere.
Great.